in that speech, remarkably short speech. She started by highlighting what she says are her government's key achievements in the 44 days in which she's been in power, acting on energy bills to keep energy bills down and cutting the national insurance rise that had previously been planned. She said that it's become clear to her that she cannot deliver on the mandate on which she was elected. So that is why she is leaving office. Rather intriguingly, Liz Truss there saying that there will now be a leadership contest which will be concluded within a week. That obviously is rather different to the last one, which took 57 days, so actually longer than Truss was in power. But there has been a lot of pressure on the Conservative Party to find a new leader quickly because of the risk of economic instability if they don't.
So runners and riders, I mean, some were saying Sunak by Sunday earlier in the week. There was mention of Boris Johnson's return, which seems slightly unlikely there. Who else? I mean, there is, of course, Jeremy Hunt. We have this Chancellor who's now presenting himself as a very sort of dignified, let's get back to normal, sensible financial discipline. Do you think he's the front runner?
It's always possible that it could be Jeremy Hunt. The thing I am hearing from Tory MPs, however, is that they feel he should stay as Chancellor because there is a need for economic stability, and having yet another chancellor, I believe, what would that be, our third or fourth one in 6 months, might cause a few problems. A fifth chancellor. Who else would I be keeping an eye on over the next couple of days? Suella Braverman, who of course resigned and was fired yesterday. She could be the candidate of the party's right. I'm picking up a real sense from those on the right of the party that they do not want to let the left of the party walk through and have a candidate almost coronated. So they will be looking for their man or woman, and I think eyes may be turning to Suella Braverman if she wants it.
But the left of the party would go absolutely flaming nuts, if I may use such an unpolitical expression, at Suella Braverman, who is absolutely hawkish on immigration. Who says she dreams of wonderful flights to Rwanda and everyone being on them. I mean, the party would just split in half, wouldn't it? Surely both sides know that if that happens, there has to be a general election. They have to go.
Certainly there has been a move in the last 24, 48 hours or so that I have seen among Conservative MPs towards a sense of compromise. If you were talking last week, there was this real sense that everyone had a preferred candidate, but everyone knew they couldn't unite the party around them. And then the resignation set in, and that is an accidental pun, but nonetheless, this sense that actually this is going to happen. Truss is going to go whether they like it or not, and compromises are going to have to be made. So yes, I think what we're probably likely to see is something more of a centre ground candidate, someone, dare I say it, a little bit dull, who everyone can rally behind and just keep their heads down for a while.
Well, maybe Jeremy Hunt won't be dull enough. The political editor of The Mirror has just said he's ruled out. Whether he's ruled himself out or who's ruled him out, I don't know. Sounds as if Hunt might be out of it. He may prefer being Chancellor for the moment.
Yes, indeed. And don't forget as well that he did do very badly in the last leadership contest. He actually was the first person to drop out of the contest. So he probably knows that he hasn't got a huge amount of support among MPs at this stage in the game.
Well, Rishi Sunak did very well in the last leadership election. I mean, it was nearly half. You know, it was very close indeed if it hadn't been for the members' taste for Liz Truss. So Rishi Sunak, would you say? Well, how can we predict? But I mean,
he has been keeping very, very quiet over the last few days. And my understanding is that essentially he has not wanted to make any sort of intervention, because the last thing he wanted was to be seen to have brought Liz Truss down. Because, of course, one of the many sources of his woes in the last leadership contest was this sense that he brought Boris Johnson down. So that no longer is a problem. Naturally, he no longer has to worry about that. She's just taken herself down. So maybe we will hear from him in the next couple of days. I might try and find that out for you once I leave the studio.
They'll be on the phone to him outside right this very minute.